Low key, this at this point, this could be seen as like anti-Canadian agitprop, dude. I've done like, I guess due to Canada's laws, they release interrogation videos, so there's a lot of true crime videos available to watch, and it just makes Canada seem so much more violent than it actually is.
Kevin Gregson's life, when looked at like a timeline of events, is filled with bad decisions, erratic events, and horrible acts. All of these started, however, according to him, in April of 2006, when he was diagnosed with hydrocephalus, which is a buildup of cerebrospinal fluid in the brain leading to increased pressure inside the skull. Severe symptoms of this can include seizures, vomiting, headaches, muscle spasms, and neuromuscular issues. On the psychological side of things, symptoms can include irritability, mood swings, and inability to control temper. It can also adversely affect thinking patterns and behavior. Gregson is diagnosed with hydrocephalus in April of 2006, and in May of 2006 makes a death threat to another individual while on the job as a police officer and receives a conditional discharge in 8.
Dude, they're doing they're actually doing hog phrenology. Sorry, I just got a text.
18 months probation. A few months before, in September of 2006, he had threatened a Mormon bishop with a knife and was suspended with pay.
Like, why did he keep having a job after this? At some point, dude, it's so funny because we like think Canada is so advanced and so much better than America, and it's like, oh no, like Mounties, who I guess are the kind of like the state police / like intelligence service of Canada, who were also fucking pulling knives on people, were getting suspended. At least he got suspended without pay, or suspended with pay. Never mind.
Threatened a Mormon bishop with a knife and was suspended with pay.
Never mind. That's actually same as America. Very cool. Very similar. Very cool, very normal, very similar behavior to the United States of America.
By July 2008, Gregson's behavior had gotten so bad and erratic that he was fired by the RCMP, with them citing impulsive, irrational, and excessive behavior as a cause. He is then suspended without pay and attempts to appeal the decision. On December 28, 2009, Gregson attempts to take his own life with a knife, but is unable to. He then hijacks a Honda Civic from some teens. From his own explanation, he attempts to drive around to find a police officer to obtain a weapon from, so he can shoot himself. Unable to find any officers during the drive, he then
actually because of Canada's gun laws. Like in America, he could have just like very easily had another gun, regardless of being an officer who was discharged.
Decides to go to the Ottawa Hospital Civic Campus. It is there that he confronts Officer Irenwez Eric Zapnik, who is by his cruiser outside the hospital. And after a brief altercation, Gregson stabs Zapnik and is quickly subdued by civilian bystanders until the police came to arrest him.
It's like, hey, see, if he had a gun, if he could just easily get a gun, he would have just easily killed himself and no one else. So obviously the moral of this story, brother, is that you should let psychopaths be able to get guns as easily as possible. Okay? In order to minimize the damage. I'm not going to show you this because this is just going to show the murder. Raw security camera footage from the night of the attack. It's still showing. I mean, there's like not really anything going on so far. I guess it's gonna start now. Here you go. That's the cop that's running away. This is Officer Zapnick moments after being stabbed by Kevin Gregson. You can't really tell, but he's been stabbed. No, they censored it. Cops come in. There's a cleaning person that came in. I guess maybe to clean the blood. More cops are coming in now. And Gregson comes into the hospital, who is now in custody. Gregson is then brought in for his interrogation.
Please.
Your intention this evening was to take your own life.
Yeah, I tried to commit suicide, and it didn't work. And I'm trained to take life. That's my specialization, and I can't believe the stupid knife.
Well, you continue to say your specialization. You didn't learn that as a police officer.
Yeah, I did.
Because I've never learned that. I've been a police officer longer than you.
They're not like us.
What the fuck?
We're the Mounties. So I just have holes in my head. And he said, because that, he said, technically I shouldn't be walking or talking right now. I should be dead. And he says, just that I'm just tough. I'm physically fit. So,
I mean, he ain't wrong.
Even with these cutting my throat, I got in there good and deep. I was working it. And the doctor said that the arteries not, they move around.
Well, I think that's a natural reflex for them to try to move.
This is a time to mention that there is currently a class action lawsuit alleging that the RCMP, the Mounties, his like Royal Mountie Police, whatever, that he was a part of, and their systematic abuse of Indigenous people in northern Canada. So, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So, he's not wrong when he says we're built to murder.
Move out of the way.
But I got in there good. I was like zigzagging it, and it just still didn't work. Damn it. Oh well. Maybe a train will do it.
Well, I can be very honest with you, Kevin.
I already ran the ad.
If you ever
Get out of here, yeah. Well, so I can get
that's
on the
if
train.
that's if
I don't care.
you're facing,
Pen time.
Kevin. You're facing first-degree murder. The punishment for first-degree murder is life in jail.
Oh, if that's what's going to happen, that's what's going to happen then.
I want you to
My
correct me.
intent was to die tonight, and because I cut my throat and it didn't work, I needed a gun so I could blow my brains out. And the only people who have guns are police officers. And so I went down to the hospital because the hospitals always have policemen there. That's it.
He didn't say hentai. He said pen time, penitentiary
gun.
time.
I wanted to die. That's all. I still want to die.
You're a young man, Kevin. You have a ton of things going for you.
No, I don't. Not
You have a
anymore.
beautiful wife.
She's gonna leave me for this. I'm not stupid. I know my wife. She's gonna be gone after this.
You'll always have a son. You're always a father. Do you have any other children?
Yeah, a couple more.
When you hurt yourself, or when you cut your neck the first time, you said you did it 3 times today?
Oh, I did 6. I did 3 on one side. I just dug
okay.
it in.
Yeah.
Nope. 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 And then because it's supposed to work.
But did you have it bandaged up when you went to the hospital?
Yeah, because I was bleeding everywhere. It was
So where'd you get the
disgusting.
bandaging?
At my house.
Oh, okay.
I just got some band-aids, put them on it.
Okay.
That's all. And then I put another one on top of it because like I'd get dressed and then all of a sudden down my front and be like gross.
When
Oh yeah, He wanted to look pleasant for when he was gonna do a murder. Got it. Changing the trigger warning to self-harm.
Where'd you get the car?
Oh yeah, yeah. I carjacked that at the Tim Hortons. I told the guys already. I just took it. I this young couple. I said, I need your car.
And what'd they say?
Okay, and they got out, and that was it.
How did you just told them you wanted the car? That doesn't seem like it works out like
I
that.
said, give me your car. I need it.
And did you have any weapons? You have your knife?
No.
Did you have your gun?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I waved it around.
Yeah. Whereabouts in the parking lot was it? I know the
Oh,
parking.
yeah, I thought he was looking for cops for a gun. How did he already have a gun? I mean, he's a cop, but like, I thought he was looking for a cop so he could find a gun. Probably no ammo.
Pretty well.
Right in front of Tim's.
Well, there's a police station right across the
You
street.
know, that's what makes it even really audacious.
Well, why didn't you just go over there and wait for a police officer if you were looking for a gun?
I actually was. I drove around their lot about 3 times looking for a guy, but they were all off shift.
It's cold out.
Well, I don't know. It was in between shifts because when I came over to the hospital, I was passed by 3 cars, and they're heading back because I guess shift was over for them over there.
They were heading back. You were going down a green. I don't follow. You
I was
were.
going to the hospital, and
Yeah.
I just drove past.
Where were you
me
between the time you took the carjacking, and the murder? Where were you?
at home,
Home
washing
doing
my clothes, washing the bedding.
what? So you stole the car, went home, or you did the carjacking,
Yeah,
drove the car.
I went home and I just cleaned up the place best I could.
No. With anyone?
My parents. I went by and saw them. Showed my dad my cut, my neck and stuff. Just told them goodbye. Then they drove around looking for me
How do you know that?
because they sent me an email.
How do you know you had an email?
Because I checked on.
Chad was literally doing sad yesterday over Brittany and her being mentally unwell. Now they see when another man who's mentally unstable, not justifying anything, is just laughing. Yeah, I wonder why. Maybe because Britney Spears never murdered anyone or tried to murder anyone. Perhaps that could be one reason that there's a difference between someone who's been like, someone who has like well documented exploitation their entire lives versus like, you know, this guy who did a murder. I don't know if he killed the cop. Oh, I guess he did. That's crazy that the fucking constable that he murdered walked into the hospital. What?
On the computer when I was at home.
Oh, it's on the computer at your house.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the laptop.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to get a search warrant for your house. You understand that, right?
Hmm?
Okay. And did you respond to the email?
No.
Okay.
Sorry to say goodbye.
And goodbye, did you tell them what the goodbye meant? Like,
Yeah,
not I'm
well-
traveling to Europe. But
No, I just said I tried to cut my throat and it didn't work, so I had to go find something else, and I wasn't going to drown myself because with my luck I would fall in the water and I wouldn't drown.
He has a literal
I have to go find
uncontrollable
a weapon.
mental condition. Stop being a dick. He literally has brain issues. Good take, brother. You're right. It's fine then. Shit, dude. I should stop being a dick to a murderer because he has a literal uncontrollable brain condition. Never mind. Apparently, he also sexually assaulted a minor several times as well.
I even drove by all the donut shops until it clicked in hospital.
At this point in the interview, Gregson has very directly referenced having the desire to end his own life multiple times, but being repeatedly unsuccessful. He says he tried to cut his own throat, but essentially he was so tough that it didn't work. He says that he considered drowning himself, but was afraid that he would survive that too. So in response, he needed to find a gun in order to end his own life. One thing you'll start to notice as a theme throughout the interview is although he openly expresses his desire to end his own life, it appears that what Gregson is really looking for is attention, sympathy.
I was about to say, a chatter pointed this out, but like, oh, doesn't it seem like he's sad? No. I think what he's doing here is Like, he literally started off flexing by how strong he is. I think what he's doing, he seems more narcissistic than suicidal. If he was actually suicidal, he wouldn't have fucking patched up his wounds before going on, you know, a murder suicide situation. Okay? So he literally talked about how he wanted to die and how he was suicidal, and then started and talked about how strong he was, and he just could not let him he could not kill himself.
Or someone to feel bad for him. His self-loathing and self-pity become evident as the interrogation progresses, as does the notion that perhaps Kevin Gregson didn't really want to die after all.
Okay, no, I'm not being disparaging with donuts with the guys. It's just like we always went to the donut shops because they're open all night.
Why, and you take a break?
And you take a break.
We're allowed to have breaks, right? Union breaks?
Yeah. Well, we don't have a union, but yeah, but that's what you do at the coffee shop. People think it's because we're lazy or something, but it's just because they're open.
Sure.
And you get that sugar fix too when you're tired working late shifts.
You still think like a cop, Kevin.
I know.
Do you feel sorry for what happened?
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing I can do. Nothing can be done. Like you said, you can't take back.
Well, there is. You could say sorry.
Are you? Well, to who?
Somebody will be watching this someday.
Yeah, I know. They're not gonna. His wife watches. His kids. Oh my gosh, he has kids.
How do you know?
Because Thompson told me. No, some other guy. He says, you're a, what do you say? You sack of shit. He has 2 kids. No, sorry. The story doesn't cut it. So
You might want to try it. No?
Oh, no, I'm not saying no. Hey, down the road, if I run into his kids, if they come to me and I'll talk to them and I'll tell them I'm sorry.
Well, with all due respect, Kevin, I don't think they want to.
Bro, yo, this dude does not have remorse, dude. What the fuck? Yo, some of you guys are so susceptible to being in a cult or something. Like, as long as someone says the words, like the proper words, you're not even looking for like the inflection. You're not looking at the tone. You're not looking at additional context into his behavior, both leading up to that situation or after the situation. And you just straight up are like, well, you apologized. The fuck, dude? You're such a fucking asshole. I can't believe that.
Talk to you.
Yeah.
God damn, dude.
I wouldn't want to talk to me either.
You're not evil, Kevin.
No.
You've done something evil, and I'm trying to understand why.
I just wanted a gun. I wanted to kill myself. That's all.
But you left a big piece of the puzzle out.
What's that?
What happened?
My lawyer says not to say. My police instincts say not to say, and that's it.
Well,
So
you're the
I'll
one that
just
gets
wait.
to decide in here.
Yeah.
There's just you and me here.
No, it's not. There's a video camera. And guys are watching, and every time they think of a question, they call you on the phone. That's what we do too.
I mean, you're all by myself, man.
You have a phone, and they call you because they're watching.
No, they can't call me.
Doesn't matter.
There may be people watching, but this
that's
is
what we
your
do,
time,
too.
Kevin. Well,
I don't.
we operate a little differently. This is your time. Like I said, this would be a perfect opportunity for you to say sorry. This would be a perfect opportunity for you to fill in the blanks. Like I said, like that's why I put you to that position to you. If someone came to you and said, "Hey, give me your gun," as a police officer, you know exactly what would happen. You would not give your gun up. So I don't get where you think that you could go and approach a uniformed officer or anybody in the security industry and say, "Give me your gun." You're wearing 2 bulletproof vests, Kevin.
Why would a man who is so intent on dying wear 2 bulletproof vests while assaulting an officer while trying to obtain his weapon?
That's so strange, dude. Wow. It feels like self-preservation. You never hear about someone who's trying to suicide by cop wear a fucking bulletproof vest, let alone 2.
You're wanting me to give you a statement again.
Well, I'm trying to understand, Kevin. And I'm sure everybody is. There's probably at least 800,000 people in this city who are trying to understand.
Yeah.
And there'll be probably hundreds of thousands of people in a couple days trying to understand. And this is your time to make them understand, or to let them understand what happened. Because for the reasons I already stated, you don't approach a police officer. You know as well as I do, Kevin, if I were to touch your gun when you're in uniform, you know what you're trained to do. I know what I'm trained to do. I just have a hard time grasping what it is, what was going through your mind. Like I said, we have witnesses, we have stuff, we have evidence. I don't think that in my opinion, is not a question. The question is why. And with all due respect, Kevin, I don't think you wanting to end your life justifies the actions that you took. That's my opinion. There'll be a trier of fact who will judge that, not me.
By the way, he said he was trained to kill to that original LDS Mormon as well, like the Mormon pastor or the Mormon bishop as well. So he just like keeps saying that over and over again. And that was when he got the conditional discharge. But even before then, he had multiple run-ins with the law. I think he comes from a family. He has no knowledge of his biological family, and his stepfather abused him. He started shooting animals with a pellet gun, and became at times so uncontrollable that his mother would send him to the garage at 13, by the way. He resisted his father's discipline and started running away from home at 16. At first for hours, then overnight. One of those arguments ended in a physical fight with his father, and in turn, he was kicked out of the house and ended up living at a neighbor's. He was later placed in child welfare care for up to 3 months before returning to home. He broke into the Mormon church and stole items, including a television. He was charged and convicted of the crime. So he waited 10 years, applied for a pardon, and to have his record sealed, and then he went through the process of applying to become a cop. Did missions for the LDS.
I just don't get it. And I'd be doing the very same thing if you were the person that had their life ended. And I'd be talking to you just the very same if you were a cop, which you are. You are a Mormon, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think your religion, I think, tells you your damnation is yours, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to hell.
Yeah. So why didn't you slit your wrists?
Because it doesn't work when you cut your
It does
wrists.
if you cut them the right way.
Well, even you cut along with that, they'll
Jesus,
bunch
I mean,
up
he's right.
together. The best thing is the throat. I should have done the leg maybe. I don't know.
Femoral artery?
Yeah, but I know. After it didn't work, and I was like, whatever. I need a gun.
When did you decide you needed a gun? What time?
I don't know.
What time did you cut your neck at?
7.
7 p.m.?
Mm-hmm.
And then you know what time you went out and got the car at? Did the carjacking?
I walked over to the donut shop.
Because you live nearby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just down the street.
Yep.
So I walked over there, and then the opportunity presented itself, so I took it. And
Was it before or after midnight?
it was way before that.
Okay. And then you went back home? You went to see your
I went to
parents?
see my parents, then I went home. And
Did you do anything else?
no, I just I cleaned up. It was a real mess. And then I kept spurting on the right side all the time. I'd just be standing there and start spurting. So I had to wash my clothes a couple times. And then I figured I wasn't coming back, so I just enjoyed laying on my sofa.
Why did you figure you were not coming back?
Because I could have been shot and killed at the hospital. It was suicide by cop.
Well, you were wearing a bulletproof vest, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. How did you figure that was going to happen?
I don't know if he got lucky, hit me in the head. Triple tap, eh? 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. That's what I'm trained to do. This is what they train us in depot. But most guys can't do that because they get nervous. The first shot will go in, then the other 2 will go off. But you never know.
Kevin Gregson mentions how he considered suicide by cop as a possibility for him to end his own life. However, he proceeded to wear 2 bulletproof vests. When confronted on this conflict by the interrogating officer, he responds with, "Maybe the officer would have gotten lucky and hit me in the head." At this point, it becomes clear that although Kevin Gregson is making a big show out of wanting to end his life, his actions he has taken to do so tell a very different story.
But I just wanted to go so I can go home. I wanted to die in my own place. I just wanted to go die in my home, my space, not on the street or in the snow.
That's what you caused.
I know. So,
What did you tell the officer when you approached him?
Hot take on Matt Hancock in the UK.
yeah,
I
you
covered
really
it
don't know. I
earlier.
can't tell you. I'll tell my lawyer, and he can tell you.
Well, that's you know better than me. That's not how this works.
Yeah, I know. But it doesn't matter. I'm screwed either way. It doesn't matter.
Kevin, it does matter.
Oh, it does. It doesn't matter. I'm screwed. I'm screwed. I can't even die.
Or a letter?
No.
You're just checking out?
Checking out.
Why so defeatist, Kevin?
I'm not defeatist. It's not defeatism. I'm just going. I'm leaving. I'm just going
Well,
over there.
lots of people say that you're
That's
you
not
just
what
giving
I
up.
believe. That's not what I think.
You've just given up.
No, I'm just going.
You seem rather matter of fact about it.
Yeah.
How does someone get so resolved to say, you know what, that's the way I'm going? How does someone do that?
Because I've been this way for 5 years. What kept me going in my outfit? It doesn't matter now. I'm in charge of first-degree murder. When they were causing me trouble at work, my plan when I was in Regina was to put my surge on and go down to the Parliament buildings and cut my throat, which I'm glad I didn't do because it wouldn't have worked. Just to cause trouble for the force because it would have been a big PR thing. And when I got here in town, my thing was I'll go down to the Centennial Flame and just lay out there. And now I realize, holy shit, that would have been the stupidest thing in the world because I couldn't have cut my throat anyways. And that's what kept me going, the fact that I could die and leave at any time. And this has been going on since 2005.
What's up with the... Is that like the microphone? Because it does sound like suspenseful music. Am I crazy, or does it sound literally like suspenseful ass music?
And that's what's kept me going. So I've been suicidal for 5 freaking years. So for me, it's no big deal. It sucks to be me. So it's just things like that. And it was just getting to me. Then they took my pay.
That was this summer, right?
No, that was, they kept it going until November. Then
Oh,
they took
okay.
it. But the thing they did wrong was they tied it into the panel, which they can't do, and that screwed themselves.
Okay.
Plus, when they took it...
So there's my point. That's my point.
Yeah.
So you said they can't do this and you've appealed this stuff. So why, at this juncture, do you decide, well, Kevin Gregson's checking out? Why? What now? I don't get it. I really don't.
Because I have $30.
Because you have a beautiful son. You have a wife that stood by you
I know.
to this point. You have children out west that'll always stand by you.
No, they won't. They
And
won't
you
talk to
have
me.
your church or your
Church is a
religion.
joke.
Your religion.
It's just time. I had enough.
Big noise.
And I just lived with it, and I controlled it.
How did you control it, though? I mean,
I
if
just
you're
controlled it.
aggressive, how does that work?
I just controlled it. That's all.
You didn't control. You didn't have very much control today.
I wasn't aggressive to it. Like, I don't know. It's just, I kind of live with it, and I just kind of control it. Like, tonight I wasn't aggressive. That wasn't aggression at all.
I think a lot of people would disagree with you. Kevin.
That's okay.
How? Well, then you'd need to define what you consider to be.
R/atheist will literally side with a fucking like murderer dude when he says the church is a joke.
Aggressive.
That wasn't aggression.
based, bro.
Taking
Fucking
someone's life
based,
with a knife
dude.
is not aggressive. I think you'd have a hard time selling that anywhere. Just my point of view.
Mhm.
What would you consider to be aggressive then?
Asserting yourself, I don't, things like that.
Asserting yourself? Is that what you said? Is that what you said? Asserting yourself?
Yeah.
Do you think you're a fair person?
I was, I'm not anymore.
Why?
I'm a monster now.
Because of this?
Oh yeah.
Or before?
Oh, because of this.
Do you think it's unjustified? That label? I mean, it's the label you've given yourself. Do you think it's accurate?
Oh, I was thinking about that today because I told my dad that I'm a monster. And the thing is that humans are monsters.
Yeah, but if you told your dad that, that would be before you murdered the officer. So,
Murder.
well, you murdered him.
The courts will decide that.
You're right. You took his life. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, there's no getting around that.
No. Okay, so you took his life. So you said you told your father something before you took the officer's life. So,
What was that in relation to?
well, you said you made the comment about being a monster before this happened. I asked you if you thought you were a monster, and you said because of this, and I said you answered yes. But you thought you had some thoughts about being a monster prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because humans. I'm a human being.
I'm a human being too.
Yeah.
Dude, he's so deep, dude. This says a lot about society. This says a lot about society, the fucking meme, the human.
We do the same thing, Kevin.
Not really.
No? Why is that?
I'm sitting here in the zoot suit,
Yeah, well,
and I've done some
the
bad
allegation
stuff.
against you is that you took somebody's life.
Yeah.
We're on opposite sides of the table. We still do the same thing. They obviously hired us for the same reason.
Yeah. So, whatever.
It's never fun when they've already been caught dead to rights and there's no additional reason to be having this interview. Like, what is the purpose behind this interrogation? Like, they already know he did it. I guess they're trying to figure out motive, right? That's why they're doing it, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like he's not doing a good job, maybe.
I just don't know how you get to the conclusion.
To me, all people are bad. That's it.
That's problematic for me.
Well, yeah, I know, but that's how I view it. I look at everybody and they're all bad, and that's it. And they sometimes exhibit a bit of good, but for the most part, they're bad.
I mean, he already confessed to the murder, chat. He already confessed to the murder. So on that front, you're wrong. If you think that like he didn't. Thanks, Mom. Okay, yeah, of course. Difference between
And
first and
that's it.
second degree?
That's
Yeah,
being
maybe.
human.
The conversation of people being inherently good or inherently bad or somewhere in between is one that is far outside the scope of this video. However, Kevin's stance on this matter is telling
Thanks, Mom.
when compared with how he acts and views himself and his crimes. Of course, a man who spends most of his time wallowing in self-pity after taking someone else's life would view mankind as inherently evil, because psychologically it gives him a way out, a way to mentally justify his actions. By putting the blame on everyone else, he himself doesn't have to shoulder any of the blame or guilt for what he's done.
Well, that's glass half empty. It's not human. It's glass half empty. You choose to do that. That's not necessarily true. It's like the people that say the glass is always half full and everything's all rosy. Well, that's not true either.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I have my view, you have yours.
sure.
You want to be an optimist? I'm not. I'm a pessimist. I'm a realist.
Okay, well, you're a pessimist. I don't know that you're a realist.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, you're being aggressive.
I'm not being a...
This dude literally sounds like a Redditor.
Aggressive.
No, you're being assertive.
I made a point. Whether you agree or disagree, it's on the table. Whether you accept it or not, that's one thing. It's like you saying you didn't.
Which is, of course, the ultimate vibe check failure, as you guys know. Perhaps the most damning crime that you can, perhaps the most damning accusation we have here at the Hasanabi broadcast.
Murdered the officer. Well,
I didn't.
Well, how do you classify that then? That's the question, I guess.
I'm going to talk to my lawyer about that.
If I tried to take your anything right now, say we're on the street, you and me, and you're walking down the street towards me, and you have a laptop case and a laptop over your shoulder, and I try to take it because I want it, because I need one. What's your response? Done on the laptop here. What's your response?
I can't talk to you. You know that.
Well, we are talking.
No, you're gonna try and try. That's okay. I have to talk to my lawyer. I can't. He won't even see me till Innis, so I gotta wait.
This is the wildest thing about Canada, which is genuinely shocking. That they just will literally say, "Oh yeah, you want a lawyer? Okay," and they just keep going with the interrogation. It kind of blows my mind.
Well, you are the person who makes the decisions in this room.
Actually, I'm not.
Actually, you are.
Well, I've decided not to talk to you about stuff. Just because of my own experience as a police officer, and also because Israel, what's his name? Last name?
Genscher.
Genscher says not to.
And
I understand enough that I do understand the magnitude of what's happened here. Like when the guy says you're a piece of shit, and the guy's dead. It's like, oh, holy shit! It's like, oh no. Okay.
To be fair, in America, what he did, if you do what he did, you get burned alive by the police. So they will literally incinerate your body and whatever fucking cabin that you happen to be hiding in, and then they'll also shoot at a family, like a mother and daughter who's out, delivering newspapers, because they thought that was the same car that the suspect was in, even though it literally does not even look remotely similar to the car that the suspect is in. And luckily, the mother and daughter will get away and not die. I am, of course, referencing the Christopher Dorner, a.k.a. Can't Corner the Dorner saga from California, where they burned him alive.
Like you said downstairs, the drama's over.
Yeah, it is over. I'm not gonna get upset. It's done. I tried to die and I couldn't die. I can't die.
It's not about you.
I know it's not about me, but I'm just saying.
It stopped being about you when he took his life.
Yeah, and I'm just saying.
In the execution of his duty. That's where we need to get straight here.
Saying is that I'm not gonna go and cause trouble. I'm just gonna.
What trouble could you cause?
With these boys? Could they all walk around me and they're getting ready to scrub me in case I go nuts or something? The nuts part is all done. It
is done.
I tried to take my life and it didn't work. So
but you keep talking about you. You keep talking about you.
Of course, I'm going to talk about me.
That's a choice you made about ending your life.
Yeah, it didn't work.
No, I know. That's a choice you made. You made other choices for other people, including myself and a bunch of children, including your own.
Yeah, I know.
We don't get to decide. You chose. So I think we need to just move away a little piece about you, move away from that.
Buddy, I don't
You don't have to trust.
anybody.
You shouldn't trust me.
You're
That's not a
building
lawyer.
trust
That's
with
a cop, chat. American chatters thinking that because he said lawyer that Canada offers you a lawyer. No, that's a fucking interrogator. He is now refusing to bring in a lawyer and is continuing with his investigation, as is something you can do in Canada.
with me right now. Now you're badgering me, and then I'm not going to talk to you. Do I have to sit here and be real quiet until you? Or are you going to make me sit here for hours and hours and hours?
Do anything you want.
Okay.
Except leave.
I know.
You're under arrest.
I know. Yep. I know.
He's like egging him on,
I'm charged with first degree.
and it doesn't feel like productive.
Well, you're not charged with anything yet.
Mhm. So
But based on the information that we have,
that's what you're going to lay charges.
We'll be
That's
laying-
okay. That's what you're going to do, and that's how the process works.
do you? Yeah, I got the process, and I know that you're a cop, Kevin, and I know that you know all about this. And
No,
you had
actually,
the
I
same,
don't
You
know
had the
a lot.
same course.
But I did have the same course, yes.
Yeah, and you're
I'm in big trouble.
Yeah,
you
but
think
you
I don't
seem-
know that?
Kevin. You seem all matter of fact right now.
I am very matter of fact. I've
You know
always been
what?
matter of fact.
That's not going to go well for you.
Person has to be who they are. I'm not going to put on a show for anyone. I'm not going to look at the thing about me. The way they at my work, how they describe me is I'm very brutally honest and I'm awkward because like I don't get up and I don't try and I don't pass the buck. I don't
That's exactly
point
what
the
you're doing.
finger. No, I'm not.
You think that
I feel like this person is definitely super narcissistic. And the cop isn't doing a really good job breaking him down because what he wants is just attention and the cop to talk about him or maybe even manipulate the cop into getting mad. So in an effort to try to get the murderer mad, he's losing the battle and feeding into his like ego.
somehow
playing
this
into his
whole event is
narcissism.
acceptable because you
It's
are only
not
trying to
acceptable.
find a gun to kill yourself.
Narcissistic personality disorder is defined as a personality disorder characterized by an exaggerated sense of self-importance, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for other people. Many who have narcissistic personality disorder will never go on to commit a murder. However, in the case of Kevin Gregson, it becomes more and more apparent as the interview progresses.
Damn, bro. I pre-watched again. Pre-watch Piker. At it again, boys.
That he displays many of these qualities and traits, as called out by the interrogating officer. He took a man's life, and it is still all about him and his issues. He was unable to end his own life. He needed to find a weapon. He feels that people are inherently evil.
I also feel like one of the more telling signs of this is that he keeps repeatedly saying, I'm so hard to kill, dog. Like, I'm just so fucking hard to kill, bro. You can't kill me. I've been trying to kill myself. Even though I'm literally a fucking murder machine, I can't murder myself because that's how fucking strong I am.
It sucks to be him. Everything about his perspective is so skewed in one direction that it is nearly impossible for him to see another point of view, even while under arrest.
That's what it's coming off as, Kevin. I'm just the spectator in this. I'm just watching. That's how it's coming off to me. That's why I said we got to stop talking about you. The fact that you chose to end your life or to check out, that you're okay with that, doesn't mean that the rest of the world is okay because you decided, made choices for other people tonight. That's what I'm trying to get through to you.
Yeah, but you do understand that'll be my defense.
Do whatever you want.
It makes it extra funny that chat literally fucking believed his shit, though. Like, there were people in the chat who actually were like, dude, what do you mean? Like, he's very clearly fucking sad, dude. I thought you were for, I thought you weren't like a retribution kind of guy, and that there were people who were fucking mad at me, dude.
What?
Yeah,
You're-
that's what I'm gonna
you're-
do. So there's no point. Like this whole thing is mental health act. It's written all over it. It's like
How do you figure that?
because I know.
How do you figure this is mental health act?
Because I'm messed up.
Because you're depressed. Is that what you're trying to tell me? We've conversed here like two people sitting on bar stools in a bar.
And
In a bar.
And, that's my point, and. And the truth is the truth,
yep, and it shall set you free
or condemn you.
or condemn you. Yeah.
Pretty philosophical for two flatfoots.
I've been a cop for 5 years.
Well, there's two things that are going to happen. You're going to be charged.
I'm going to be charged.
Right.
I could go to jail
You're
for
either
a
going to be
long, long
convicted,
time.
convicted or not convicted.
Yeah.
That's the way this is going to go.
Yeah.
And witnesses and evidence is evidence, and witnesses are witnesses, and they say what they say. And you have the opportunity right now to look up at the camera and tell that widow and those children
You said
that
they're
you're
not going
sorry.
to watch it.
Oh, they'll be watching. I said everyone's going to watch this at some point.
Yeah. Even my people out there, CMP.
No, he said that I'm sure the fucking widow and the family wouldn't want to hear from you.
Embarrassing.
Everyone's going to watch. It's embarrassing. You think this is embarrassing?
Yeah.
That's all you can think of. This is going to be embarrassing.
You went from flatfoot to
This dude accidentally arrived at pretty damning evidence that this dude has like some serious narcissism.
it's going to be embarrassing.
No. You think this is embarrassing? Is that what you want the family to hear? Is that what you want the citizens of this free country? Is that what you want people to know about you? Is that you think this is embarrassing?
It was, as a matter of fact, embarrassing. But the police conduct throughout this entire interrogation, and also Kevin Gregson's delusional self-loathing, came across as an incredibly embarrassing experience.
Flatfoot to embarrassing. Now you're trying to make me feel bad or something. I already feel bad.
You do. Well, then say it.
Huh? I already did a few times.
No, you think this is embarrassing. You don't know how this will impact the RCMP. You're worried about the image, your image. You have a lot more problems than that, my friend.
Yeah. That's okay. It's who I am. If I get locked up for it, I get locked up for it. You're not my friend. I don't have any friends. At all.
Wait, hold on. I have to ban this person for the truth. Are you showing these videos because you're paid by the United States government? I think Canada government is doing a monka with what you're doing right now, and I'm very happy that they are monka. Smile. Yes. The answer is that the American government is paying me to disparage Canada.
And I don't need friends. Because my dad's like that. He once told me, he says, you know what? When you have friends, you gotta go and be nice and do things to be acceptable to them. So if you do your own thing, you can do your own thing. You don't have to worry about it. And I have picked up that philosophy. And that's it.
Well, you have to know that since people pulled you off or intervened in the stabbing, that we have at least one eyewitness. You know that, right?
There was a girl and a guy and a guy. No, wait. A girl and a guy. The guy had me in a bear. Pretty good. And the girl, she had grabbed my arm, and another girl came and kicked the knife.
Okay.
If any silver lining could be taken from his terrible encounter, let it be the fact that multiple people stepped in in an attempt to stop the attack on the officer. That in itself would conflict with Gregson's view of people being inherently bad. However, it is doubtful that he has enough self-awareness to realize this.
Okay, so that would be
That's three people.
That would be 3 witnesses, right? At least.
Yeah.
In this day and age, you know about video surveillance and cameras and, right?
Yeah.
Eye in the sky, Big Brother, all that stuff, all going. Could be working against you, right?
I don't. It doesn't matter. You know, the courts will decide what happens, and whatever the courts decide, I'll accept.
You had 3 knives or 2?
2.
The knife,
The big one, the Peacekeeper.
the piece, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's called a Peacekeeper. It's a NATO issue. You can buy them at like any
Knife shop,
store, knife
yeah.
shop, yeah.
And
And then
you
a
had
little one.
You have a Swiss Army in your pocket?
No, it's not Swiss. It's just a. That was just.
Are you considered to be somewhat of a knife expert, or
I guess.
you don't have any? Do you have any specific training other than the stuff you mentioned about knives,
It's
sharp
just,
edge training?
with my work.
Okay, with your work, I mean.
Yeah, and then you just pick up stuff on your own.
Okay.
Knife work is pretty basic. But
Yeah.
people make a big deal about
It
dancing
seems
around
like
crap, but it's
this
all about,
dude was abused as a kid, but like, and he was kind of a bad kid too. On top of that, bad household, and he literally always wanted to be a cop, which is why he got his record sealed so that he could reapply to the police force, the Mounties. And that's why he keeps talking about how his expertise, he has an expertise. Like, he's like such a chud. How do you know? Because I read his background. And I'm giving you details that have not been discussed in the video, but actually from his past. So he feels like, I mean, he constantly keeps talking about like how he's an expert, how he's like, you know, Mr. He's like Mr. Murderer. He's built to murder. He's built to murder over and over again. It just seems like he is a like mall cop Andy, and we see a lot of those, especially in these sorts of murder situations, who became a cop.
it's all prison yard rush. That's all knife work is.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah, and then that didn't work, so I had to get a gun.
Right.
I can't believe it.
So why didn't you try to buy one on the street?
Buy one on the street?
Yeah.
From who?
Canada. Our American viewers will not know that purchasing a weapon in Canada is not as easy as going to Walmart and just buying a gun.
I could have just borrowed one. A long
Yes, you
gun
could
from
have.
someone.
Yes, you could have. That's part of the
But the
idea.
knife was supposed to work, and it didn't work.
Okay, so why didn't you just borrow a rifle from somebody? Why didn't you go to Canadian Tire and buy a shotgun?
Because I don't have a...
Why didn't you know somebody that has a weapon, break in their house and take it?
No, because it's more accessible from a member.
I'd say it's not accessible at all.
He's actually doing a good job here, because like this does kind of back him into a corner and destroy his narrative, his self-loathing narrative about how he like attacked the cop because he wanted to fucking get his gun. When instead, like, what he wanted to do very clearly was like make a name for himself. He's a narcissist. He's like delusional. And that's why he went after like a cop instead of instead of going to, I guess, Canada Tire and getting a gun, or, you know, breaking into a neighbor's house with a gun.
Do you have
For the very reason is that you would never give up your gun, and neither would I, under no circumstance. That's not accessible. That's you making a choice to go do that. That's
What's a Canada Tire? Whatever the fuck he said. Canada Tree, Canadian Home Depot. Canada's just like us, brother. They're fucking selling guns inside of Home Depots. In America, you can't get a gun at the Home Depot.
That's not accessible at all. Like I said, that's about a choice you made. You've had choices now, you had choices yesterday. You've had choices the whole time. Go and steal one. That's available. Going to a police officer and trying to disarm them to take their sidearm, not available. Did you want the officer to shoot you and kill you?
No, I just wanted his gun.
Right, so you could kill yourself.
Yeah, at my house. On my sofa. Or in the bathtub. And that would work.
I need to use the washroom. Would you like some water?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'll be back in a second.
Canadian Tire is a store. Yeah, they still. Yeah, it's a Home Depot.
Wow.
Home Depot for guns.
Louise.
Did you consider any other manner of
I mean,
death,
is it
of
Jeez
any other way of
Louise?
ending your life?
My thing was knife. The knife.
Yeah.
And
But I mean, when the
gun
knife didn't
was
work,
Just the gun. And I thought about pills, but I didn't want to take the chance that it wouldn't work.
well, they'll work.
Okay. If I wanted to trigger this guy, I would have literally been like, you keep saying you're a murderer, that you've been trained to kill, yet here you are alive, curious. Like, why didn't you just say that? I would have just fucking brought that up and just be like, explain yourself. If you're such a trained killer, how the fuck were you unable to kill yourself? How were you unable to see the ad break that's coming at the top of the hour? You're literally a trained chatter. But if you're already a trained chatter, you know how to avoid said ads. Thank you, Socialist Girl, for the 5 gifted subs. You can avoid said ads with a Twitch Prime subscription for free, with a $5 a month subscription, or with an ad blocker or a VPN. Here's the ad break now.
You know they work. You've seen one.
If you take the right amount. But like,
Just take them all.
that won't do it with me. Look how I'm healthy. I'm not gonna. With my luck, I will just end up
I'm telling you, he's so fucking delusional.
damaging all my organs. I'm not gonna go around and be
So you think it's good?
gimpy.
You think you have good luck? You would be able to survive any other fashion
That's
of
not good
suicide?
luck.
Well,
That's
you
what I
call it
thought
bad
about.
luck. Some people would say good luck.
That's what I considered knife. That was what I thought about for a long time, and it didn't work. So I went to the gun. That's all. That's it. That was my thought process.
So why would you involve another innocent party in your own death?
That's how I was thinking.
Pardon?
That's how I was thinking. I just wanted a gun. I just wanted to die. I still do. I don't want to live now. But it's just the way it's worked out.
So you would...
You know, if I go into the pen system, maybe I can get involved in the gang and I'll get whacked. There you go. Then I'll be dead there.
So you involved another innocent party, another innocent member of this society, because you couldn't think of any other way to get a gun.
I didn't think of him as being innocent. I just thought of him as someone who possessed the weapon that I wanted.
You don't think he's innocent?
I didn't think of him as an innocent. I thought of him as a person who possessed a weapon that I wanted.
So he became a target because he had something you wanted. Well,
Target?
Well, he's not innocent. If he's not innocent, then he's the
I
target
didn't
of what you were
think.
doing.
I just wanted the gun. That's all I wanted. I wanted the gun. I wanted to die. I wanted the gun.
Why didn't
Knife
you
was a
get up on the
weapon.
Queensway and stand in front of a tractor trailer? That,
I didn't
my
think
friend.
about that. I thought it would jump.
So
off
you
the
thought it'd be
building.
easier to go and confront a
With a
police
gun.
officer to get his gun?
Yeah.
You thought that would be easier?
Why do you think I was carrying cuffs?
That's- You were gonna abduct him.
I know. I was just going to cuff him.
So because you thought he'd go with you, is that it?
This is actually a Reddit debate. This is what happens when Reddit's top 2 minds get together and decide to just duke it out in the intellectual marketplace of ideas. Okay.